for all purposes, really, he's kind of like an unbeaten fighter. Not been awfully beaten.
I think it's pretty important for Richardson to look good in this fight. He has looked a little flat in a couple of his latest outings, so he needs to look good and sharp to give himself the confidence for the bigger fights that await him.
And remember too, he boxed hundreds and hundreds of rounds as an amateur and achieved big things, so he's a very, very experienced boxer one way and another, although he's only had these 13 professional fights under his belt. It is time to move him on towards championship class. Those plans are afoot, as you've heard, but he must win this one. Got a lovely left jab, Richardson, when he moves into his smoothest gear.
Ramsey looks in decent condition. He's shooting his jab out quite sharply, switching from a southpaw stance back to orthodox and back again, just trying to confuse Richardson.
'29th pro fight for Ramsey, who has been in for titles before, like title eliminator for Britain, World Championships as an amateur, WBC International, lost that one.
There's a sharp right hand there from Ramsey, who's just keeping out of range and then rushing in, trying to land a good punch, and that right hand was a classy one.
Right! Let him go. Right back, Jim. Hold on, now. Let him go.
Mark Green, the referee, letting them work inside for quite a time before breaking them up. Richardson hasn't quite slipped into his best rhythm.
Well, he's just thinking about it a little too hard here. He's got to get his arms moving a little.
Ramsey looking knowing and crafty in this opening round, in which he did pretty well. Welcome back to Pickett's Lock in North London. We're just up the road from Tottenham Hotspur's ground, and Mark Ramsey had his successes, particularly with that right hand in the opening round.
Yes, I think that was the best punch of the round. Good right hand there from Ramsey, but not a lot of work from either man. An even sort of round. Richardson very apprehensive, just a little tense at the moment.
His career has just gone off the boil in the last year or so, Peter Richardson, I think it's fair to say. He's on the fringe of the British top 10 though, and rising. By the way, the British champion Andy Holligan has just recently given up the title to concentrate on a European Championship bid, but there are people like Shane Neary around, Commonwealth champion Bernard Paul, Jonathan Thaxton, of course. So it's a division full of interest in this country.
And Ramsey being quite elusive here. I think it's a little difficult for Richardson just to close the distance down and then become a bit messy when they're inside.
Decent right hand from Richardson. Unusual style that Ramsey has. Gets himself in a position where he's able to lean back a long way away from the jab and ride it.
Ramsey has quite good reflexes and just managing to get his head out of range there, just slipping the shots well, even though he's got a low armed guard.
Certainly no way yet that Peter Richardson, the so-called craftsman, has been able to establish any significant control.
No, he's just showing Ramsey a little bit too much respect, I feel. He needs to start letting punches go.
Likes to work everything off the jab, Richardson. And for the first time in the contest, really, there managed a combination left jab and then the right to the body.
That was a nice little choppy right hand as he came out of that combination, Richardson. Just starting to land a little more frequent now. He's still a little cautious and thinking about it very hard, but he's just starting to do a little more.
Richardson, who was a Commonwealth Games gold medalist back in 1994 as an amateur. He appeared over 30 times for England. Got to the quarterfinals of the World Championships, won 2 ABA titles. It's a glittering record, all right. If he can match that in the professional ranks, he'll be doing very well indeed. Richardson's round, I think.
Davy boy! How's the bright lights of London then?
I'm missing you already, Dave.
So how's the new job, pets? Settled in, I hope.
To benefit from BT's friends and family, you don't have to think of 10 numbers. In fact, you could start with a couple, then add some more at a later date. It's free to join, so call now on 0800 05 55 55.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're eating well, son.
Ah, Mr. Morris! Same as usual?
And you still save 10% on your chosen numbers.
Welcome back to Pickett's Lock in North London. Remember, we've got a cracking top of the bill for you tonight with the local hero Spencer Oliver going for the European Super Bantamweight title in his 11th pro fight. Jabs landed so far in this one. Peter Richardson 12 to Mark Ramsey's 2. That was in the second round alone by the two fighters. Here's round 3. Richardson in the red trunks and the clever Mark Ramsey in blue. Controversial loser last time out, Ramsey, by the way, Glenn, against Anthony Campbell back at the end of April.
Yes, he's a much better fighter than his record suggests, and you can see he knows his way around the ring. Very slippery. Been to Europe many times and got a very credible record abroad. And he had fights, he's got 5 wins, so that's difficult to do when you're fighting abroad. Richardson very thoughtful here, not taking any chances. That was a good right hand. He's boxing his way in. He's looking to land the jab before he really lets anything else go.
Ramsey clever enough to make Richardson miss with his usual fast jab, which is such an insistent weapon for him, but Ramsey's reflexes, as you were saying, Glenn, are good, aren't they?
Yes, he's quite good. Now he made Richardson miss there, come out with a little quick right hand. He's changed stance again, back to southpaw this time, Ramsey, but there's 2 good jabs from Richardson.
Ramsey threw 4 punches, none of them got home. Richardson didn't do all those things as an amateur without having a decent defense.
Well, technically he's very good, very well schooled, went all the way through the amateurs. Richardson represented this country very many times. Again, Ramsey lands that right hand in, and he just looks